Yeah, he's taking over. He's just a hot dog place.
Okay, I'm gonna call Frankfurt Redevelopment Commission to order. Roll call, please.
Joe Palmer,
Present.
Chris Potter,
Present.
John Virtue, Eric Woods,
Present.
Jeremy Newcomer,
Present.
Doug McQuaid.
Did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, I have a motion to hear a second. I have a motion and a second to accept the minutes as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Any public comment?
No.
Anybody? Okay. Claims, I've got them going around. We did hold one back till next meeting. So we'll discuss that the next meeting on it. Some of those are payments, bond payments on the Prairie Creek Park and also the aquatic center.
That's what that.
So those two big ones are.
I'll move to accept the fund.
I have a motion by Eric to accept the claims. Jeremy seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, claims passed. Yes. Okay, we are down to facade grants. I'm gonna turn it over to you, John. I know Bud's not here, so.
Two applications we've got are for roofs for, one's for Grease Pizzeria's, there's Halloween Way.
Okay,
They're right beside each other, but there are two different owners.
Okay.
Both estimates are actually, Anthony Hinton that owns Creek actually has two estimates, which is good, but they're both well within what they should be, so I recommend that you approve those.
we'll pass them around. Also, I wanted to go back because I think Wanda today got the submitted for reimbursement for Hope Collections on their sign that we passed. I think it was last month. John, do you remember
Yeah,
what
it
all
last
was in
month.
that?
I think it's done.
It is.
I
But-
can't find it. I
Huh?
just looked again. I can't find the packet.
Didn't see it.
I'm gonna look again.
Okay. There was two claims that was supported on that. One of them was for 700 for rewiring of that light through, I think Stevens Construction, and the other was the sign company together. Sign company was 700, or can you, I don't remember what it was
That's,
now.
I remember 700 for the sign. That's the only one I remember.
Okay, and then there was a additional 350 on the electrical work for that sign. So I do know 350 was the max on it, so.
Is there a question of
I just wanted to make sure that, because I could not remember on the facade grant whether both of them problems, they're co-consistent with each other, but they're not. I don't remember if they was broke down on that way on the facade grant. So, but if that's the case, we're looking at about $1,050 probably total.
Yeah,
So, very good. So in that case, I'll go ahead and have one to cut the check out for Hope Collections on it. So, and then, are you making a motion that more or less to go ahead and grant these on the facade grants, the two we got?
Yeah, I'd make a motion to approve those.
Okay.
Two facade grant applications.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve both of those facade grants. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. New business, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit for the sole purpose that there's quite a bit here. I'll I'll start off right off the top, and I think she's may have AIM in here, but AIM conference is going to be September 28th through October 1st at French Lick. We did budget this year for our members here to go if you would like. If you decide that you want to go, get with Wanda and she'll make your reservations for you. And either the resort or the conference is at the resort, but you can also go to West Baden if you want. So I just wanted to bring that up so everybody's got the dates, September 28th again through October 1st. And then that is referenced. They'll have classes. Normally they have classes. Eric's been last year, so I'm not for sure what happened last year, but I'm guessing you're going to go through the council. Yeah. So, but anyway, it's usually most of the time question and answer things you can go to.
Usually a lot about redevelopment.
Yeah. So there'll be classes and everything else. So I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed on that. The other is now there's some discussions on some properties here. I'm going to start off with 250 North Main Street. That is where the mural is. Lisa Keever is the owner of that property now. We did have an appraisal on that property. I think you all got the email of what the estimate was on that property as far as the appraisal goes. So if the board's pleasure is to submit an offer of that, we'll get counselor to do that. So that's about the only way we're probably we'll have to get that wall capped pretty quick. So
The owner's not wanting to spend any money on what I assumed to do.
yeah. And I even tried to get permission, a written agreement allowed us to get up there and look at it ourselves to see if we could just put the cap on it. And she never really even responded on that.
We
So
forced her to fix that like we did wrap with his windows at the building beside it.
I can't answer that. I hate to say that, but that falls back kind of to Rob and, but this is just a possibility of, what I'm saying.
I
be able to do it.
believe I just read that, and the appraisal was 120, and the owners insisted on 150.
Well, she's asking 150.
Okay.
I believe she might consider less.
I haven't.
That's the best I can do,
Have we only got one appraisal?
No, there will be two on this coming.
Don't have this.
Yes, I just don't have the second one yet.
Just wanted to verify.
But I've talked and I think it's going to be about the same.
I don't know what it is. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure we've got the two.
And
So,
yeah, and Schuette's realtor or whatever, Allison Schuette's, again, we're paying her $400 for appraisals, which is very reasonable, I think. So. So what's the board's pleasure on 250?
My only concern about buying it is our plan for it. They're gonna put us in the rental business until we have a final dissolution of the property.
There is currently a renter in there. I'm not for sure what he's paying. I didn't get into those details. But
Maybe that's a question for Alicia. Does RDC have the mechanism to set up a body to handle that?
I mean, you all can, yes. So you all are allowed to lease property. My recommendation would be that if we're going to do that, we come up with a policy of who is the contact person and all of that. So we don't have to have serial RDC meetings to deal with problems and issues. Most of the time when redevelopment commissions are leasing things, they get a property manager, and that's kind of the easiest way, but then you're spending money on that. So you could definitely, come up with a policy that one of you is the person that's the point of contact, that you can make certain decisions up to a certain point, and then if they were over that point, that we would then have to meet, that sort of thing. But that's up to you all if you want to do that. But yes, we could get something in place. I do not believe that we presently have something in place, though, so that would be something we would need to do.
This could also fall under possibly the future on that comprehensive plan too.
Yeah.
So, I got a feeling I know who's gonna probably get that job. But anyway, I'm open for volunteers.
London.
Pass.
Joe Mike.
You know, the church, the original way, once we get back machine, if we decide we do that, the church, we were gonna set it up where they just come over and pay Wanda the rent every month, for the RDC, but that was just that one.
Yeah, that works really well until you have like a water leak or something.
Nope.
And that's where that's where you have
agree.
that's where you have an issue. So I think that one was going to be kind of temporary, was my understanding,
Yes.
until we found a buyer, and then it was probably going to become a parking lot. But that would
I
be up to the
agree.
buyer. But that all said, I mean, temporarily you could certainly do that. But my recommendation is if it looks like it's going to be a long term, and furthermore, we'd want to see whatever that lease agreement was with the person in the 250 North Main, because if they had like a year-long lease, we're going to be purchasing it subject to that lease. So we've just got to make sure that we've got whatever mechanism in place. But for that church, it was a month-to-month lease. They didn't actually have a written lease agreement, so we could terminate it with 30 days notice, and if we wanted to, or we could have left it alone. But once that went through, I was going to be standing up here telling you all that if we were going to keep it for any extensive period of time, we were going to need to come up with a plan. So
What about taxes? So obviously, if we own it, there would be no property tax.
mhm.
We would want a tenant to pay in lieu of taxes, right? So
I mean, we could make them do that, yeah.
we'll just set the lease agreement to a proper level.
Right.
I don't want to see the city lose out on the taxes.
Right. What you could do is you could look at because all of these have, like private owners right now, not municipal entities or nonprofits. So you could see what the taxes are, and you could put that in the lease agreement that they're going to pay that amount to the city annually for the taxes, assuming that they're, paying the taxes right now and the property owner isn't doing that. They may bulk at that if they weren't paying the taxes before, if the tenant wasn't, but you could certainly do that in the lease agreement.
So in your mind, we could put a lease agreement together that pretty well held us out from any liability. And
Yeah, I mean, we can basically set up a lease agreement that says that we're not responsible for maintenance, we're not we're not responsible for property taxes, we're not responsible for snow removal, mowing, whatever the case may be, and then just collect the rent on it. You could certainly do that. But again, it kind of depends on whether a lease was in place to start with. Like with the church, they didn't have a written lease. So we could simply say to them, hey, 30 days, you're out of here unless you're going to sign a lease with us. And here's what the terms are going to be. With a tenant that's in there renting from someone else, they may already have a lease agreement. And if we do purchase it and that lease agreement is for a longer period of time than a month, then we're going to be stuck with that for a little while. So we kind of just have to be careful with that too. And then also always I'm concerned about environmental contaminants, because that's the world we live in. So that's the other piece to those. I don't know that there was anything at that building that would be a concern, but that's always something that I recommend, is to get a phase one, just to be sure, because that covers you.
Well, I don't know of any contaminants that was ever there, but I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you spend $2,000 to $3,000 for phase one, it saves you potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars of liability. So it's, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So.
Okay, one of the, I guess, observations, I know there's other property we're looking at. And I think we need to decide what our
Use your
priorities
mic.
are.
Your mic. There you go.
Okay. I think we need a pecking order, what properties we want to buy. We don't have an unlimited amount of funds. So let's decide which ones we want to, we want to buy. I don't have a problem with buying property, but is that one as important as some of the other ones we potentially are looking at?
I mean, I'm going with Mr. Price's thing when he come in on the mural. We said we'd look into it. That's the best I can do. Is I'm not getting any cooperation as far as being able to do anything to it without us actually owning it.
So before we make an offer, do we want to get the second appraisal? Or we want to make an offer before that?
It's coming, but it's going to be basically the same amount. I've
Okay.
had a verbal on it. So it's just that the other appraiser, I believe, is out of Lafayette.
Okay, and we're good on funds. We buy that building
Yes.
and the Mac machine
Yes.
building?
Yes.
Okay.
I know where you're coming from there, John. That was my concern, if we exhaust our funds, something comes up that is a higher priority, we're kind of stuck. However, and now us working in that area for quite some time, I'm gonna guess that our city comp plan is probably going to show that northwest corner, extending from Veterans Park to Morrison and then, on Main, and then probably down to the Salvation Army as most ripe for the redevelopment. So I think it's probably going to end up fitting into that plan. I know that helps me a little bit more. On this particular issue, I guess I would, if she ends up wanting too much money, would she allow us just to fix it? Is there some rule in place that we couldn't fix the mural?
The mural, I believe,
By capping, but to make sure there's no further deterioration.
I can't answer on her because she actually owns that wall where the mural's at. And the agreement was with her either father or grandfather. But I can tell you that Main Street is going to try to look into grants, both the Lafayette Art Guild and possibly trying to go before the Community Foundation and see if we can't get monies to possibly redo or repair that mural. That is in the possible works, but you've got to have signed agreements. Now, the mural we lost on Joe Root's building, we had an agreement with him over there, but when that happened, now we still own the wall there at the parking lot. So we could actually, that's being looked at and maybe putting the old mural back on. But instead of having it just that, because that top building, that wall's taller than what was there, figuring out whether we're going to put a sky up above the mural or what. But I leave that to the artist. I barely can draw stick people, so.
So it sounds like we got time to wait for the second appraisal on this one.
We can. I just wanted to bring it to the board's attention. Like I said, that ought to be coming fairly quick.
That building is key to the aesthetics of the downtown area right there.
It
So,
is.
I'd like to see something done on it. And whether we buy it or not, that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, if it's our, the regulation of how we can spend our money. Sure.
So a question on whether we try to pay to repair it. That's not even, if we were to, I'm going back to Eric, what you said, ask if we were to pay to cap the roof or cap the wall or whatever, would we be opening ourselves up for other businesses or whatnot downtown doing the same thing?
I don't think so, because we would say we're doing it just to protect the mural, which is, no amenity.
Right,
That was
right.
within our TIF district.
And this, yeah, it's a different circumstance on this one. I
I
mean,
mean, there is precedent on something like that. We paid to repair.
and the
Mark Blanket's
longer,
wall.
longer we wait, not just RDC, but the city, the longer they wait, the worse this wall's getting, or the mural's
The
getting.
mural's gonna need
So,
more money spent on it.
and, yes, so that's the only thing I was looking at.
So we can all agree a priority is to save the mural, and second to that is buy it if we have to.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that.
I can reach out one more time on the capping of the wall, but like I said, I haven't had great response on that one. So,
I'll play devil's advocate, if we get some developer in here wants to tear all that down, we're gonna have to force a developer to redo the mural on any new wall. We'll have to make sure we have those kind of restrictions put in.
so we just want to set back on this a little bit.
I mean, can we pursue the repair knowing that at a minimum, we want to do that? Maybe we do that and buy the building, so. I mean, Alicia, is a simple waiver sign off by the owner, hey, let us fix your roof so that we don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'd want like a short little 2-page agreement, but yes, we would basically just get permission from them, have them waive liability as far as, damage or whatever to some other part of the building, and then we would take responsibility for payment of the cap and everything in the mural.
If we buy it, we're gonna end up fixing it
Right.
anyway.
Yeah.
So we're
That's
gonna
right.
spend the money anyway.
And
So
I go back to what I said a minute ago. We approached, the first aspect was to try to get her to give us permission, and that did not pan out. So that's where I'm at. So the next one was she agreed to allow us to do the appraisals on it. And, she said what she was asking, but, we've tried to explain that when these appraisers come in, we have to be somewhere close to that being the price that we're going to pay. So
By somewhere close, we can only pay the average of the two appraisers.
Yeah, no, and I'm saying,
so that's
yeah.
that's by law. I mean, we can give her the statute if you want to, but that's what we're stuck with. So, as far as us paying more for that, that's not really an option.
people can ask anything they want,
Sure.
and
Sure, they can.
I want them to know up front. I always use an example of if that property is appraised at 100,000, they're wanting 300,000 for it. It's not going to work. So most of the time, they know the rules going in from the redevelopment commission side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I mean, they're not that far off.
no,
So
So how fast can we move? If we do purchase this, how fast can we move on that?
So we would have to do a resolution stating our intention to purchase the building, and then we could go ahead and do an authorization to buy the building and, have Joe go to closing or whatever. And we could do that all in one kind of fell swoop. We just have to make sure we do it, but we would have to have a meeting to do that. So if we wanted to move forward, we could do a special meeting, or we could just wait until the end of the month.
yeah,
And
I'm
do it
going to say
then.
30 days isn't going to change anything as long as if we start the process.
Right.
I'm just thinking that further damage, if as winter comes, it's gonna get worse. So that's just trying to,
We want to go through another freeze and thaw.
no.
It is getting bad. I think Larry can contest to that. So
It's fading fast.
yes,
I don't know about the condition of the brick, but I know the whole thing. In fact, if you look on the city website, it's got that mural on it. It really looks really good.
it does.
Look at that now, and it's really fading.
But the problem is the water that's running over that wall and coming down the wall itself. is what's creating the problem, so. And don't mean to throw you under the bus, Kimberly, but you've been involved in that too, so. What's your thinking on it?
Good evening. So I mean, I'm kind of with John and Eric here. I think first step's waiting on the appraisal, but if we can figure out a way to fix it, no matter what we do, would be better off than nothing. But yes, no, we're looking as well as with Main Street, grants and different opportunities. My hope is to be able to put it back to the way it was. There's a lot of history that was on those two walls, and so I want to preserve it for as long as possible. So that's my 2 cents.
I'll make a motion that we pursue repairing that to save the mural and go from there.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to allow counselor to start that process. Based on the appraisal that we have.
Sorry, are we repairing it or are we purchasing it?
I think we're purchasing that.
No.
What your
Well, I
question
said,
was?
let's.
He said
I'd like to
repair.
see us pursue repairing it,
Okay,
but I'm not ruling out that we buy it if,
my apologies.
I'm good with either way, be it honest.
And we'll have the appraisal by the next meeting anyway.
I can have it possibly in a couple days.
We still need to figure out how long that lease is with the tenant, correct? So that's.
Yeah, I mean, that would be part of our due diligence in the purchase process.
And then, so then you're gonna do a phase 1 testing. So do we need to do set
If,
at least past that for the money spent that you can?
I mean, yeah, well, I always recommend that. You guys would have to authorize that. We'd need to do that resolution saying that we're interested in purchasing it and what the appraised values are. And then we need to do a resolution authorizing Joe to move forward with that. Yeah, so that's kind of where we'd be. But I think, we would have to either have a special meeting to do all of those things. So I guess it's up to you guys what you want to do.
Again, John, I apologize. I misunderstood.
Well,
you.
we can't really make an offer till we get that second appraisal in official, right? And,
I mean,
We don't have permission to repair it right now either.
We could make an offer that it's the average of the two.
yeah, I mean, we could make a tentative offer that we believe the appraisal is going to be whatever, and the average of those two appraisals is this. And if the appraisal comes down, lower than that, like make a contingency, but, or you could wait. It's up to you.
well, my thoughts were, we got to repair the wall regardless. And if we can start that process, I think we should do it. If you want to make some type of proposal that we make an offer to buy the building with all the contingencies in place, we could do that too.
I will try one more time to get a written agreement, because if she agrees to it, then I'm gonna bring Alicia back in on it. But I'm not, like I said, I've attempted once big time, and then we've talked a couple times
Is she
about it.
local?
I believe so. She just hard to communicate too with, so, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying that she's hard to deal or get a hold of sometimes. So
there
yeah,
was
let's,
a motion and a second, sorry. But we need to probably vote on that before you move on.
restate the motion again.
Motion to pursue fixing the mural. And then when an appraisal comes in, they will consider purchasing the property.
Is that fair?
Sounds good.
Okay. We have a motion, and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Now, the next on the thing, and it says 252, 254, which is the wrap building next to that. He is contacted me. He is interested in selling. Again, I explained to him how the situation works, but we can't do anything unless we would authorize an appraisal on that building. It carries 2 addresses, but it is next door there. So if you want to hold off on that, I can do that. I just need to be able to give them directions of whether to go ahead and do an appraisal on it or not do. So, and I think all of us know the property that is, so. While we're talking about that, we have 359 North Jackson that would be the same boat. I need to do an appraisal on it, which is on the other side of, it's where Dave's Automotive is the other problem down here.
We don't have any numbers on that building yet, do we?
We do not. I'm going to talk about 301 North Jackson, which is the old McCullum property, but we'll talk about it here in a minute.
My question is, if both of those properties become available, do we have enough money to buy those and pursue?
According to Reedy, yes.
Okay. I'm in favor of getting those buildings appraised, get our ducks in a row and
Okay.
get ready to move on it if we need to.
Is that a motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to allow the appraisals to go ahead and start. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? I know that we had a lot on this land, but like I said, it's all come together.
Timeout. Is that for all 3? 252, 254, and 359?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, one's all, even though it's got 2 addresses, same building.
Okay.
So, 301 North Jackson. Without going into great details on it, because it's really not my place, but, I think I'd talk to Eric on it. The old McCullum building, the people that own that, there's some discussion there. The offer was originally at $450. Right now, we currently have an verbal offer in there at $350 for that property. That being said, I'm sure they're going to come back kind of with a counter offer and we'll go from there. There is a potential investor that I've kind of been in communication with that would be interested in that building or that area right there.
And we did have appraisals on that one.
We did before, yes.
I thought so. I just wanted to verify.
And I think it come back around 450 on both of them. So that being said, on that property, I just wanted everybody to know where I'm at on it. We'll wait for them to come back to the table and see what they say.
Has that 350 been presented to the new owners?
It has.
Okay.
Now, there is an attachment to that property. And because the current owners of that property do not want another gas station or convenience store on that property. So their recommendation is whatever we do, if we reach an agreement, we would like a clause in there that says no competition, or more or less, RDC would never sell it to somebody that's going to open up a gas station or convenience store.
I think that was the original reason we wanted to buy it anyway, to keep that from happening.
That is exactly what happened, and I can tell you, they gave, I think, $700,000 for it. So that's where we're at on that. I'm just kind of bringing everybody up to speed on that. We'll see what happens, develops from there. So any questions on any of the new business? Old business, our favorite, 308 North Main Street, which is the garage that sits down there towards the old main hotel. And I wish Rob was here. Rob had contacted me last week and stated that he had made contact with the owner of that property. And her request was is we would bump our offer 5,000 more, which originally it was 20,000. So we're offering 25, that she would very seriously consider where it's at. So, the original proposal was, I think Eric made it, was, we stay within 50,000 on demolition and purchase. This will put us at 55,000.
I think we need to get that done. I'm gonna make a motion that we offer the $25,000 for the building.
Okay.
I'll say.
Have a motion and a second to increase our offer of $5,000. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Alicia, if you can get with Rob on that, because
Yes.
he's been the one communicating on it for
Okay.
us.
Yeah, I can do that. Do we know which person it was? Was it Barb or was
Barb,
it was Barb? Okay.
Yeah, I believe the niece has signed off of the problem. So
Well, that would
not
be movement.
do not quote me on that, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's where we're at.
If
Of course,
she,
Barb still has Rick as the counselor.
right.
But I think this is a conversation between Rob and Barb.
Yeah, that's fine. If we can avoid making it more complicated than it needs to be, I'm all for that.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll reach out to Rob and then see if he can contact Barb and let her know that the RDC has approved the 25,000, and we'll cross our fingers that.
Yeah, when he
You can
gave
buy
it to
it.
me, when he gave it to me last week, I told him, till we have our board meeting, I can't
Yeah.
say that. So,
Yep. Okay, I will work on that.
okay. Wow. That would be a blessing because that's been what, 2.5 years probably, or
If she doesn't
3.
take it, I think the city needs to proceed with
Well,
condemnation.
they already were. That's the problem. They are starting the process.
Yeah, so on the
And,
city side, we did start that process, and then when we started that process, then there was a person who was gonna buy it, and so they asked for more time, and then we gave them more time, and then they fizzled into the nether, and now here we are again. So it's a frustrating thing because every time that we've tried to move forward with it, then someone comes up and says, oh, hey, I'm gonna buy it, and we try to work with them because that's better than the city taking it on and demolishing it and going through the court process and all of that fun stuff. And then it hasn't worked out very well. So I'm really hopeful that this will put this one to bed.
Yeah, I think she was also misled on some stuff too. So the owner,
Oh,
I'm talking about Barb.
okay.
I think somebody had told her the property was worth a lot more than what
Oh,
it was.
yes.
And that threw the curve into it. So
Yeah, she believed at one point she had it listed for sale for like $60,000, which it's falling apart. But then, like I said, there were I want to say 3 or 4 different people interested in purchasing it at one point. I don't know, but if we can get it taken care of, that would be ideal without going to court.
okay. So we're all good on that. Kimberly, did you, on your report, do you want to talk about it or just submit it? Just submit it. Okay. Anything else before?
Oh, yes, there is, Joe.
I'm glad I said that then.
So on your report, there is a red highlighted area. That is because that one did get rained out. So we have a new date and just wanted to bring that to your attention. So it is highlighted in red. It's the Indianis, which the last time they were here got rained out. So if it gets rained out again, they will probably not be asked back to the city of Frankfurt unless it's a very dry month. So
umbrellas.
yes. So that is the only update I have. So sorry about that.
Any questions for Kimberly? You know she's gone. Okay, if there's nothing else before us, I'll call the meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
250 property, I presume you've been in that building to see what it's like and.
I've been in the downstairs, but I've not been in the
or
upstairs.
Whatever.
She said the upstairs is in fairly bad shape, but I mean, it's salvageable. It just, nothing's ever been done to it, so.
Let me turn off this switch up here.
Maybe it's one of those deals that if the city buys or redevelopment buys that or something, and maybe fixes that up, and maybe they can get an investor to buy it.